Hello, welcome everyone. Everyone, good to see so many beautiful, familiar faces. And I would love to hear where everybody is calling in from. Feel free to just unmute and say where you are.
Colorado.
Costa Rica.
California.
Pennsylvania.
Los Angeles.
San
Ontario,
Diego.
Canada.
San Francisco. Anyone else?
Oakland.
Amazing.
Also open.
Cool. Amazing. Well, welcome everyone. Welcome to Hylo Community Call. How many people are new to Hylo? Just raise your hand. Is this your first community call? Yes. Welcome, Scott. Welcome, Tom. Yay. It's good to see Daniela. Welcome. It's good to see new faces as well. So we're going to actually dive into a brief just breakout room for a few, maybe 5 minutes. To meet a new friend and would love for you to share maybe what brought you to Hylo. How did you end up here? And we will break in, there we go. Rooms are officially open. We'll see you back in 5 minutes. Your name and what brought you to Hylo.
Hello, love.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello, Tree. I'm sorry you're not feeling so well.
It's because I'm having such a beautiful life. It's hard to hold still.
Yes. Oh. Welcome
Yeah.
everyone. We're just actually doing a quick breakout room. Let me see if I can. Yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and move you guys to different rooms. We should be back in a few minutes. Where the question is just what? Hi, Brandon. Hello. Actually, no, let me just see how I'm gonna do this. Okay. All right. I'm gonna assign you to different rooms. See you back very soon. There we go.
I said no, thank you.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, it's okay. It's gonna be a brief breakout, and then we're gonna come back together. And Tree, we could do the interview and then feel free to go get some rest.
No. I prepared a song if you need one.
That would be amazing, actually, when everybody comes back. Yes. Yes, please. All right, we've got 9 seconds left before everybody else. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Welcome back. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a lovely conversation and met someone amazing. I would love to pass it on to Tree, and who's gonna gift us with her beautiful voice.
Oh, thanks, Yasmine. We had so much fun opening and closing with songs last time that I tried to think of another song I could offer. And yeah, this is one that came to me in the water. I'm washing away all that no longer serves me. I'm washing away all that doesn't serve life. I'm letting go of any notion that I'm not worthy. I'm worthy of love, worthy of life. I'm already free. We're washing away all that no longer serves us. We're washing away all that doesn't serve life. We're letting go of any notion that we're not worthy. We're worthy of love, worthy of life. We're already free. Okay, sing along if you're getting the hang of it. I'm washing away all that no longer serves me. I'm washing away all that doesn't serve life. All that doesn't serve life. We're letting go. We're letting go of any notion that we're not worthy. We're worthy of love. We're worthy of love. Worthy of life. We're already free. We're worthy of love. Worthy of life. We're already free.
Woohoo! Thank you, Tree. Wow, so beautiful. We're already free. And this is the world that we're all working towards, I believe. And I love, so for those who have not been to Hilo before, if this is your new first time joining Hylo. So Hylo is a community-led pro-social coordination platform that is specific for purpose-driven groups. And our purpose is mainly to activate the full potential of these groups so that we can create a flourishing future for all life. And with that, I'd love to introduce two of my favorite humans, Tibet and Krisha, who are going to be sharing some updates on the product side. Maybe we can start off with Krisha with lunch tracks, with the tracks.
Alrighty. Hi, everyone. My name is Krisha. So good to see you. I'm the community lead here, and I'm excited to share tracks. So we recently released Tracks and Actions, one of our newest, most exciting features on Hylo. You can think of tracks as learning journeys and actions, the things that one needs to complete in order to go through this learning journey, the modules, the sections as a part of this course, this experience, whatever it might be. And I'm going to share my screen just to show you a track that we have in one of our groups, Hylo Community Organizers. I'm going to ask if I could share. And would Yasmine or Tree put the link to this group in the chat, please? So you can think of this group as a space to gather community stewards on Hylo, share best practices, and share what we're doing as stewards of groups on Hylo. So here's the group. And if you scroll down below, you will see a section called tracks. I'm going to click on that and you will see this track that one can enroll in. And I recently created this. This is a track that anyone that's a part of this group can take. It's a learning journey to set up your group on Hylo, the group settings, the admin portal, so that the foundations of your group are set for thriving engagement. So when I click on the track, you will see the name of it and a little description. Now, when I click enroll, you'll see a welcome message, and then I can go to actions in order to see what I need to do to complete this track. So you'll see the first action here is how to access your group settings. So you click on the action to learn more about what it's about and to complete it. So this one's pretty simple. It's just instructing folks how to access their group settings, which is really important. And you'll see a little description here and ways to complete this action. So for this action, you simply need to mark it as complete. Once you complete an action, you can then see what the next action is in the sequence. However, you're not required to follow a sequential order here. You can jump around, as we believe that learning is not linear. But in the future, we might implement a feature that requires certain actions to be done before others. So you'll see there are various actions in this group. There are ways to embed videos as well. My computer's going a little bit slow, but here's a YouTube video here that's embedded and playable within an action. And once you complete all the actions in a course, in a learning journey, in a track, you'll get a completion message. I'm not going to go through this right now. I invite you as community stewards or just folks in Hylo to enroll in this track. But while we're here, I'm just going to show you real quick how easy it is to create a track. So I can click on tracks again, and then right here on this button to add a track. So you'll see a section to include a banner image. This could be a great way to customize the look of this track. You'll put a name. So let's say member onboarding. You'll include a track description. So that's what pops up when we first click on a track. A welcome message. This can be as long as you want it to be, but I'm just going to keep it short for now. And then a completion message. So when folks complete the track, this is what will pop up. So one cool thing you can do is add a badge or a role to folks who've completed the track. So say folks go through the track of the member onboarding journey. Once they complete this track, I can assign them the role of host or another role within the group. And below, you can see a section to customize a name for each action or module or section of the track. So I can click Create Track. And then when I click Edit, I can start adding my actions. And within an action, you include a title, a description. Here's where you can embed a Vimeo or YouTube video that's playable, attach images and files. And one cool thing you can do is adjust how folks complete an action. So on some of the ones that I showed, you can either just have them mark it as done. You can have them leave a comment, emoji. There can be multiple choice questions. There could be a requirement for folks to respond to a prompt, or they need to upload an attachment. So you'll see there's varying ways that folks can complete an action, and you'll see that the completion message changes depending on whatever you selected. But again, this can be edited. So I'm going to pause there and share in the chat a YouTube video that kind of goes through everything I just shared, gets a little bit deeper on how to create a track, how to create actions, how to reorder actions, whatever it might be. And I'll share that for your reference. And now I'm going to pass it to Tibet to share about participatory grant making.
Thank you, Krisha. Yeah, we're super excited about this work. We've previously had demoed some of it, but now that it's finally out in the wild, we're excited to see how people start using it. And we welcome your feedback. I mean, this is a first version of this feature, and certainly there could be bugs. There also are additional things that we want to add in the near future. So please keep the feedback coming. And next, I mean, we're continually working on the kind of core foundational communication features of Hylo, but we also get to work on these really cool new exciting features that kind of take Hylo closer and closer to the vision of pro-social coordination tool. And the next big one in that regard is we're working with the 11th Hour Project and some other folks, but they're the main funders of this work, to work on participatory grant making and funding in Hylo. So this will build on the proposal tools that we've already created and enable communities using Hylo to run kind of democratic or participatory rounds where you want to distribute funds within a community in a kind of democratic way. We have done this ourselves in various groups, including in Hylo. I've run collaborative funding rounds through the Collaborative Technology Alliance, and Aaron, who's on the call, and Claire participated in a grant making round with the Edge Prize connected to Salmon Nation. And we've had a lot of people come to us wanting to do stuff like this. And we think that we can make a very sort of simple, easy way for your Hylo group to come together and distribute funds in a collaborative and participatory way. So we're just starting this process. We are in the kind of requirements gathering. I mean, we've got a lot already kind of together as far as the basic requirements, but we still would love input from more folks. I'm actually I'll share my screen, but also just share this document where we are creating the set of requirements and then starting to move into specifications and soon designs for this work. And I'll just quickly run through what we're thinking for this kind of early first version of participatory grant making or funding. So yeah, you can see some questions at the top. This was we had a call last week where we invited input on this feature set from some community members, and would love you. I think it was just set up for people to add comments. So if you want to just add comments here for now, we can integrate it into the document. But the basic requirements are the ability to start a round, give it a title and a description, and the criteria for what it would take to submit a proposal or a project to this round. And then what kind of voting methodology or consensus model do you want to use? And we'll probably launch with just one, which I'll talk about in a minute. But we want to support different models in the future. We will also have the ability to limit who can submit proposals and who can vote in rounds by role or badge. So we'll make this very customizable in that way. The timeline of the round, so there'll be a start date, a proposal submission date, voting start date, voting ends date, and then when the funds will actually be distributed. We're still thinking through how the submission process will look. At sort of its most simple and basic version, people will just create a Hylo post, probably a project post that would get added to the round. We are also considering, and maybe this will be a version 2 thing, but creating a form where you can specify the questions that people need to answer to have their project submitted. But we might also just start with a simple template that kind of gets inserted into a Hylo project post saying, answer these questions. So we'd love some comments on that, on the proposal submission process. Then we will need to add ways to interact with the rounds and kind of highlight them within the Hylo group. Discussions can happen on the individual projects. We'll also probably have a chat room for each round, so there can be sort of general discussion about it. Events in Hylo could be used to set up the sort of project presentations or different discussion. And then the voting. And so we're considering starting with a few different voting methods or models. One called co-budgeting, which is a very simple method where, let's say you have $10,000 and you have a certain number of people participating, you could distribute that $10,000 to the people. So each person gets $100 or $500 that they basically get to allocate to the projects. So it's a very simple method of if you had some percentage of the pot, what would you give it to? We're also considering ranked choice voting, where you pick your top, let's say, 5 projects in order, and we use some algorithm to determine then, okay, what's the top ones that people want to be funded. There's also quadratic voting, which is kind of similar to that, but with a different point-based system. And then there's sort of more fancy consensus models where you have people, for example, submit their full funding package. Like if you were in charge, this is what you would fund. And then we take the input from everyone in the group and synthesize it and turn it into a funding package that the most people would support. So yeah, would love comments and thoughts on which of those would be interesting to you. And then, yeah, once voting is done, we'll display results. We have one other question here about whether groups would be interested in displaying results as they come in, as people vote, which could create bias, but also creates a sense of energy and momentum and seeing what the group wants throughout the process. We're not going to initially integrate with actual funding tools, so money won't be distributed through Hylo, but eventually we would love to do that as well, whether that's through blockchain or just Stripe or other things like that. So yeah, I'll stop there. I think that's a good overview of what we're going to be one of the things we're going to be working on over this summer. We're really excited about it. And yeah, I think it will be a huge addition to the platform.
Thank you, Tibet. If there's anyone that has a question or curiosity, like maybe just unmute. Oh, there we go, Krisha.
So I just wanted to add one thing. We're also soon going to be working on another exciting feature, which is paid group memberships and paid tracks. And keep an eye out. We'll be sending an invite for a community feedback call where all of you are invited to share more about what you would like to see in a feature like that. So I'll post the link in or the invite in Building Hylo and Hylo Community Organizers. If you're not a member of those two groups, I'll share that in the chat right now.
Thank you, Krisha. Any questions? Like maybe 1 or 2 people can ask before we move to our next.
Or comments.
Yeah, or comments or feedback.
I have a question.
Go for it.
So for the tracks, you said you could use it for a chorus feature, but could you imagine it used for, I don't know, some kind of quest or challenge or that kind of thing? Can you just set them up just to run some campaign like quests within a group?
Absolutely. That's the great thing about tracks as well. They're structured as a learning journey. There's so many ways they could be used beyond that. So I'd love to see what you create. And yeah, it's very flexible. So what you're mentioning is definitely possible.
That's awesome.
And Krisha showed this, but when you're creating the track, you can change the name of the word action to be module or lesson or, stop on the quest. And so you can make it feel like, whatever you're trying to create with it, you can kind of have it feel more like that.
Chris, I saw your hand up. I don't know if
I'm going to send Tibet a direct connection because this one goes a little deep. So, but thank you. Appreciate that. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, Chris.
All right. Well, next up, I'm excited to introduce, I don't know if anyone has been to or have heard of the Holomovement, but it's one of the communities that is actually using Hylo for the last 2 years, maybe. And I'm actually going to invite back Tree, who's now stored in that community within Hylo, and maybe tell us a little bit more about Holomovement and also how do you see Holomovement and Hylo just kind of collaborating and yeah, tell us what's going on.
All right. Thanks, Yasmine. But first, I just want to say, if you're making cool things on tracks, will you please post them in Building Hylo so that we can all see them and celebrate them with you? I want to see that quest, David. Thank you. Holomovement is a network of people who understand that we are all in this together. It's a unification movement where we talk about how science and spirituality are actually describing a lot of the same things. And we all are committed to putting love into action for creating the world that we know is possible when we're conscious about creating a culture of care and collaboration together. So I really enjoy Holomovement because I share all those values. And it's one of the things that's lovely about Holomovement is just being in the mix is enough to be a part of the Holomovement. They have a lot of wonderful tools to support your projects and your growth. And a Hylo group where people, that's Sammy. He really wants to get in my lap. The Hylo group is a place where people with particular projects that they have in mind for putting love into action, for activating this knowing that we have, that we are fully empowered to create the society that we want for ourselves. We connect on the Hylo group to plan together and coordinate together and do all the things that Hylo is great for. So when 3 or more people get together to do a project, we call it a Holon. And so the Holomovement Hylo space is where people gather in their Holons to coordinate with each other. Of course, there's tons of alignment in terms of values and how we work, and this notion that a Holon itself being a thing that is a part of a whole, but also whole in and of itself, is one of the central principles that Hylo was built upon. So a lot of alignment.
One fun fact is the founder of the Holomovement, Emmanuel, was an early founder in Hylo a long time ago. So that was a cool kind of reconnection there. And Tree, there was a recent gathering that happened in Asheville recently. What was that?
That's true. It was called The Wave, and it happens every year. And it's a super fun gathering of all the people who share these ideas to just share with one another what we're doing and get really inspired. There were people with all kinds of amazing projects and amazing ideas, talking about what they're up to, inspiring others to join them, inspiring others to think of their own amazing projects to start. There were incredible speakers. We had quantum physicists and we had spiritualists and amazing music. Just really a wonderful time to be had by all because of so many like-minded kindred spirits in one place. Just a lot of synergy, a lot of energy, a lot of connection. Yeah. And I have no doubt the wave will continue to ripple out in all the good works that everybody's doing, and those times when we come together are so important.
Thank you, Tree. And I love the weave in between communities, right? Like, and that's the magic of Hylo, is that there's all these incredible groups that are within their own private groups, but some of them are open, and we get to, meet and collaborate. And one thing we're gonna do for the next 20 minutes is have a chance to meet 3 new people in our Holon, like small group, and answer a couple questions, like basically, what is your mission? What is your group's mission? And maybe if you have an ask or a give, like if there's a challenge that you're currently facing, and you just need some inputs or insights from other minds, you could use this space to do that. And also, how do you see these new Hylo updates and features supporting your group? So we'll have about 20 minutes, 5 minutes each. And the invitation, as always, is to give each other your fullest attention, like that they're the only person that matters in the entire universe, because magic happens in deep listening, and being present with one another. So All right, here are the questions in the chat. I'm going to post them here and I'm going to open the rooms and I'll see you back in 20 minutes. I'll let you know when it's time for the next person to share. So you each get 5 minutes and you can answer any of those questions. If you have a big challenge, if you want to share what's exciting about what's going on in your group, and if you don't belong to a group, maybe you could share what is your 1-year vision for maybe a group that you want to start or that you want to be a part of. All right, with that, I will see you guys in 20 minutes and the rooms are officially open. Welcome back. You guys are slightly early, but hi.
Oh yeah, we just agreed we were gonna jump back. We thought that was happening here. We
Perfect.
thought it was about time.
Awesome.
There was
Yeah.
a message that said the final share. No.
Yes. Yeah. I meant like final person to share, but maybe, yeah, all good.
Yeah. Yasmine, is there gonna be like an in-person Hylo party like there was? I remember
Gathering.
last year you guys did one and I missed it.
Oh, yes. Where are you based?
Wholesome.
Okay. We probably, yes, we're probably gonna do something in the fall. So I'll keep you posted on the dates. But usually we have 1 to 2 a year. But we're also talking about a larger event to bring like a lot of the Hilo communities together.
Oh, cool.
So that's in the envisioning process.
Yeah, that could be expensive. I know. I worked on planning the Emerge gathering 3 years ago, and also I've had some connection to other big gatherings. They're super expensive and hard to plan.
Absolutely. Yes. Worth it though. Having those like in-person, yeah, meetings and synchronicities that happen when people come together. It's pretty magical. I'm gonna bring everyone back. Let's see, I'm just gonna close the rooms now. Okay. 20 seconds. We're the welcome committee for our fellow friends.
While we have a few more seconds, forgive me, but I'm joined at a friend's suggestion. Can you ELI5 me the Hylo platform?
Absolutely. Yes.
Thank you very
Yay.
much.
My pleasure and welcome. We better late than never. Welcome back, everyone. Before we share, I actually would love to take 1 minute for you to write in the chat. What is one insight or takeaway that stood out for you in your breakout room? It could be something you heard, something that shifted your perspective, possible opportunity. Take 1 minute and we will begin to share.
I would ask that everybody make sure that they're muted if you don't mind.
All right, let's see. 30 more seconds. All right, on the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Amazing. Okay, let's do some reflections. Robert, Hylo is a great place to incubate one's heartfelt desires. Like that. We can meet others from a spectrum and find common threads. Yes. David, our offers and needs are interrelated. I couldn't agree more. Krisha, amazing people doing amazing things on Hylo. Beautiful. AJ, building community. Love that. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. Sometimes, you wonder what is happening in these rooms. And this is a way for us to collectively share some of these insights. Jeffrey, yes, please go for it. Your hand is up. You're muted.
Yeah, I do that often and haven't learned to teach the computer to listen without being, no. Anyway, so I like to just share there's a feature that could be very practical, very, very useful in enabling us when we go into a group to grab the names or to grab the contacts, something that could not technically be done real easy, so that we can get back to the people that we were in that meeting with, without having to take notes or send everybody. It could be very simple, but I was wondering if there could be a feature that would, with a click, you grab everybody's notes and email. That's what I wanted to share. And I just want to make a comment on all those comments that you said. Yes, for me, I know about Hylo for a long, long term. With even when Adam West was creating it at the hub in San Francisco, I thought it was, and I was one of the first one who started conversations with him about the holonic structure, and I seen all the incredible development that you guys have producing, and I see Hylo as the leading platform to become the shared infrastructure for all of us in the world who wants to create the more beautiful world we know is possible, and already in the road to becoming that, to emerging as becoming that platform. And I think that I think that this is a vision, a proposition for all of us to begin to become that through Hylo. Let Hylo be our shared infrastructure. Let Hylo be our Facebook for all of us who wants to create a world that we know is possible. I totally see that as the
I love that.
evolution of what we're doing. Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeffrey. And it's good to have you back. It's amazing when people are like been involved in the past and then returning and interweaving. So welcome back to the field. And I see Brandon is sharing a report that could be useful. Yeah, please share that in Building Hylo as well for people to,
I think I
share.
might have already done so.
Oh,
But if
perfect.
I'll double
Great.
check.
Beautiful. And I actually just put the link in the chat for all of you. If you haven't joined Building Hylo, that's kind of like we have a general chat, and that's usually where you can like ask questions or share updates. If you're hosting an event or doing something amazing or even need feedback, that would be a good space for us to all interconnect. And you can find each other as well in the search feature. All our names are there too. Okay, we are 1 minute away from ending our call. I'd love to invite you to put your camera on just for a minute to take our group photo. Let's see. I'm gonna do countdown for 3, 2, 1, and let's see, more people putting their cameras. 2, 1. Yay. Amazing. I am so excited to also share that we're having our next community call end of July. So tell your friends. I'm going to put the link here in the chat. And with that, I just want to say thank you for taking time in your precious day to be here. This community, for me, Hylo is about the people and the relationships. And then we're just building the tech and the tools to support us coordinating and connecting to create the change that we need in this wild times. And it's more important than ever. So thank you all so much. And à bientôt. See you soon.
Thank you all. Thanks, Yasmine, for hosting us so beautifully.
Bye.
Everybody.
Oh, bye.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
you
Can you
all.
give us a shout with the registration link at the safe chat? Is that possible?
Yes, I'm gonna actually do a recap and send the recording as well.
I greatly appreciate that. Thank you very much. And it was a pleasure to be here.
Yes, Chris, welcome. We're happy you're here.
Ciao.
Thank you. A bientôt.
À bientôt.
Hi, RJ. Hello, Ezekiel. Bye.
Ezekiel, good to see you.
You're amazing.
Thank you. You are amazing.
See you later.
Send my love to Claire and the baby and everyone.
Yeah, we'll do.
See you soon.
Blessings all.
Ciao.